Just think about a lake that is spread in thousands of acres where there is no way out and the risk of life is more than the limit. The story begins thousands of years later when humans left the Earth and started settling on different planets. Some planets turned out to be good, but some had such strange and dangerous animals which were very dangerous to humans. And only one government ruled this entire universe. After this, we see a planet called Titanium, where people set up their own city and made a system where people's every action was monitored. Then we see a girl named Christy who was in jail on this planet. After this, we see 10 such prisoners who were given the punishment of being thrown out of the city. Here, no one was given the punishment of death. They were just thrown out of the city. Because outside the city, there were very dangerous creatures who killed them as soon as they got a chance. The prisoners couldn't run away from here and go anywhere, so this place was also called an open jail. Now these 10 prisoners had to pass through a dangerous tunnel and reach Paradise Island. But the truth was that no one had been able to reach Paradise Island till date. Anyway, the captain brought all the prisoners to the city's border where there was an invisible protective shield. While removing the protective shield, the captain removed the cloth from the head of a prisoner named Irvin and then ordered an iron box for all of them which contained all their useful things. Now they had an hour to get out of here or else the guards will shoot them. Hearing this, a woman started crying like a mad woman and started running here and there. So Christy somehow calmed that woman down. After this, a prisoner named Wolf said that he wanted to know about everyone. Actually, he was trying to become the leader of everyone because he had already gone into these tunnels. But then suddenly a dangerous insect named Pagan came out of the ground and immediately took his prey and went back to the ground. Anyway, Christy said that she doesn't want to go with Wolf but wants to go ahead with Irvin. Then Irvin said that we should open the box and distribute the things among us, then we will go our separate ways. But as soon as the box was opened, everyone broke together and Irvin's hand was stabbed. Irvin said that everyone should get equal things. But then Wolf's companion tried to attack Christy. But Irvin grabbed his neck at the same time and threatened everyone that the result of attacking each other would not be good. Finally, Wolf gave him his share. But then Irvin asked him for an empty box instead of giving him something to eat. For which Wolf happily got ready. Then a voice came from the palace that the prisoners will have to be removed from here right now. So Wolf ordered his team to move forward, while Irvin and Christy tied a heavy box on their waist and set out. Then a sudden attack from the palace and everyone hid behind the stones. Then Irvin realized that this attack was actually done to kill him. He told Christy to crawl with him and move forward. Then he soon reached a safe place and then Irvin saw that Wolf's team was also following him. After this, Christy asked Irvin that is there really a place called Paradise Island? This time Irvin replied that if there was no place, then why would the government people attack them? The guards were sure that Irvin would be killed on the way. Irvin said that he is going on this road for the first time, but he is sure that he will definitely succeed. Actually, a few years ago, Irvin used to be the advisor of the government's president. On the other hand, we see that the new president called the captain and asked that how is this advisor still alive? So the captain convinced him that no one has been able to cross these waves so far. On the other hand, when Christy and Irvin got some clean water on the way, Christy washed his face and started thinking about the coming time. Then suddenly Irvin stopped Christy from moving at all. Christy thought that Irvin wanted to take advantage of him. But actually Irvin had seen that pagan insect that had suddenly come out of the ground. When Irvin was facing him, Christy showed courage and cut the insect with a knife. Later when she was applying ointment on Irvin's wounds, Christy said that once an inspector tried to rape him. But when Christy did not agree, the police put him in jail without any mistake. At the same time, Wolf's group also reached there. Wolf wanted to take the iron box back from them. But Irvin tied the cut part of the insect on his hand and started attacking Wolf using it like a weapon. Wolf realized that he could not compete with Irvin at this time. That's why he let Irvin and Christy go. But still he kept following them. Actually, Wolf wanted them to walk ahead and get stuck in the first tunnel so that his group would know about the upcoming trouble. After a while, Irvin saw pagans coming out of the ground, so he asked Christy to lie down quietly. As soon as he did this, many pagans suddenly came out of the ground and attacked Wolf's group. They took many prisoners into the ground as their prey. When the president asked the captain about Irvin, the captain told him that he has a special man behind Irvin. At night, Irvin and Christie stopped at a place and Irvin was ready to tell him the whole truth. But before he could say anything, Christie fell asleep there. Later, when his eyes opened, he heard strange noises and thousands of insects were moving towards him. Christie ran fast out of fear, but Irvin caught him and put him in an iron box. And he also lied down inside and closed the lid. In the same way, he was saved from the terror of the insects, but the lid of his box broke badly. Actually, Irvin asked for the box to save himself from this problem. Then after calming down, he came out and left the box there and moved on. After a while, he reached the beginning of the tunnel. Wolf's entire group was also following him. A girl named Layla thought that Irvin and Christie would go further. So she started walking fast to reach them. Then Wolf ran to stop him, but suddenly he got stuck in the tunnel. At the same time, Layla told everyone that Irvin was actually the advisor of the previous president. And he knows how to get out of here alive. Then a prisoner named Ryan pulled Wolf out. Anyway, at night, Irvin and Christie stopped at a place and Irvin fed him raw frogs. Then he told Christie himself that he used to be the advisor of the previous president. But when the black truth of the system came in front of him, he decided to reveal it in front of the common people. Now no one was allowed to kill directly, so the government sent him to die in this mess. But before Irvin came here, he put such a virus in the system which is closed by a special code. And no one knows this code except him. Now the system is going to shut down soon. No weapon, no camera will work. And people will be able to create a new system of their own. Hearing all this, Christie said that then the people of the government will wash their hands and follow him. But Irvin said that he has full hope that he will get out of here by then. On the other hand, the government system in the city was starting to shut down. First of all, the communication satellites stopped working. Then the next morning we see that Layla and the rest of the prisoners who left the Wolf's group and went ahead, met some wild people on the way. When their screams reached Christie, she started crying sadly. She started cursing the person who had made this punishment, but in reality, it was Irvin's idea to kill someone and leave it open like this. Hearing this, Christie got very angry and started screaming at Irvin while crying. There Wolf saw the people of his group hiding behind the stones. Then to save his life, Layla told Wolf that he got an offer to kill the president's advisor. If he kills Irvin, then the government's helicopter will come to pick him up. Now Wolf had an idea that if he kills Layla, then the government might give him this offer as well. But then Layla escaped from him and got trapped in a spider's web in the swamp. She died there in agony. When the captain got the news that his spy was killed, he sent Sergeant Matthias to kill the advisor by giving him a weapon. On the other hand, Wolf was killed by another companion on the way. Here Jan went to Irvin and Christie and distracted them, because of which Irvin got trapped in Wolf's web. Wolf suddenly tied him up and locked him up. And now he wanted to kill him so that the government releases him. Now there was no other option, so Irvin asked Christie to run away. But Christie suddenly kissed him. Here Wolf asked Irvin to stand up, but Irvin was not willing to listen to him. So Wolf had to carry him on his back and move forward. There we see that Sergeant Matthias and his group reached the ruins of the old jail, where many murderers used to live. Soon Wolf also reached there. Then he took Irvin and Christie to a place and reached to deal with Sergeant Matthias. But in the middle of their conversation, Irvin ran away from there. Then Wolf got scared and told the sergeant, "Don't worry, I'll find him." But the sergeant shot him in anger. Then when the sergeant found Christie and Jan, the sergeant killed Jan and took Christie in his custody and moved forward. Then Irvin came in front and asked the sergeant to release Christie. And in return, he would surrender himself. But as soon as he released Christie, the sergeant killed the tranquilizer that made him unconscious. And then suddenly Wolf killed the sergeant from behind. Wolf was now counting his last breaths, but he was not going to miss taking revenge from the sergeant. Then Irvin thanked Wolf. Then Wolf advised him not to try to go to Paradise Island, because there is no such place. After giving him so much advice, he died. Later we see that Irvin took Christie in his arms and reached the sea. And he realized that he would reach Paradise Island only after crossing it. To cross it, he himself collected plants and made their small island. There the captain was not able to contact the sergeant, so he understood that there was no point in looking for the advisor. Anyway, he sent the last drone behind Irvin. When Christie came to his senses, he felt that the small island on which he was standing was slowly sinking. Hearing this, a prisoner named Joe, who was with him, jumped into the sea. So that the weight on those plants is a little less and Irvin and Christie's life is saved. Then both of their eyes fell on a drone coming towards them. At first, they thought that the game is over. But before reaching them, it broke down and fell into the water. Because now the virus made by Irvin had spread throughout the system. Now he was a little happy because the people of the city would come out of the clutches of the corrupt government. But suddenly he saw that he was moving very fast towards a waterfall. But then he somehow tied himself to his small island and he fell down from there and survived. This was no less than a miracle. Finally, he reached the shore where a secret bunker was built for the president. It was not anyone else but Irvin who built it. But Irvin did not know the last number of the code to open it. Because the president had put it himself. He could not guess. Because if he did not fill the correct answer in 2 tries, then the bunker would be locked. But then he used his brain and put the number thinking like the president. And the door opened suddenly. He went inside and saw that there was only 1 seat for 1 person in the spaceship. Then Irvin asked Christie to go ahead. But Christie clearly refused because now she was in love with Irvin. Finally, the two somehow entered the spaceship and came out of that planet and reached the Earth where they told the government the whole truth. I hope now life will be a little better on their planet.